A businessman once found a fisherman sitting beside his small boat at sunrise. The nets were empty, the water was still. "You're not heading back out?" the businessman asked. "I've caught enough," the fisherman said. The businessman shook his head. "Enough? You could stay longer. Go farther, catch more, buy a bigger boat, hire a crew, build a fleet. In 20 years you could retire comfortably. Then you could relax, fish when you want, spend time with family, enjoy the simple life." The fisherman looked at him. "I'm doing that now." That's the part most people rush past. Because the businessman isn't lazy. He's capable, disciplined, the kind of man who wins. He tells himself he's building freedom, but he keeps postponing it. 5 more years, 1 more promotion, 1 more cycle, just a little more in the account. He doesn't call it procrastination. He calls it responsibility. He calls it providing. He calls it being smart. But look closer. If your plan for freedom requires you to delay living for decades, you're not building freedom. You're financing a future version of yourself you may never meet. And that's the part nobody wants to say out loud. You assume you'll have the same health, the same energy, the same friends, the same marriage, the same appetite for adventure. You assume your body will cooperate, that your mind will stay sharp, that nothing unpredictable will interrupt your carefully modeled projections. But time doesn't negotiate. It doesn't care about your spreadsheets. The mornings keep disappearing, and retirement keeps moving. First it's 60, then 62, then 65, then, after this next opportunity, then, after the market stabilizes, then, when I hit 1 more milestone. The number changes, the target shifts, the anxiety remains, because this isn't about the number. If it were, most high earners would have stopped already. This is about fear. Fear that you'll run out. Fear that you'll look foolish. Fear that you'll lose status. Fear that without the grind, you'll feel irrelevant. Work gives you a scoreboard, a title, a reason to wake up and be measured. Retirement removes the scoreboard, and a lot of people don't want freedom. They want certainty, so they stay in the game, even when the game stopped being necessary, even when the portfolio crossed enough years ago. You tell yourself you're being cautious, but what if you're just being afraid? Afraid to find out whether you're more than your productivity. Afraid to discover that slowing down feels uncomfortable. Afraid that if you stop chasing, you'll have to sit still long enough to hear your own thoughts. So you keep running, not because you need more, because motion feels safer than silence. Meanwhile, the fisherman wakes up when the light hits the water. He works when he needs to. He stops when he's done. He knows what feeds him and what drains him. He doesn't have everything, he has enough. And enough is a line most people refuse to draw. Because drawing it means admitting something terrifying. There is a point where more stops improving your life. After that point, more just increases complexity. More meetings, more decisions, more stress, more maintenance, more responsibility for things you don't even enjoy. At some stage, you're not accumulating wealth. You're accumulating weight, and you carry it everywhere. The brutal truth? The biggest risk isn't retiring too early. It's waiting so long that your body retires you. Waiting until your knees hurt, your back aches, your energy dips, your parents are gone, your kids are grown, your spouse is tired of hearing, soon. You say you're doing it for them. But they don't need a larger inheritance. They need your presence while it still matters. Money compounds, so does regret. Every year you delay a life you could already afford, you're making a bet. A bet that tomorrow is guaranteed. A bet that you won't change. A bet that the version of you at 70 will thank you for squeezing out 1 more deal. Maybe he will, or maybe he'll wish you had the courage to stop earlier. To define enough, to protect it, to live inside it, because here's what nobody advertises. You can spend your whole life trying to own more, and still feel owned by it. Or you can decide what enough looks like. Draw the line, and finally own your time. Own your mornings, own your health, own your attention, own your relationships, own the years that don't come back. Some people spend their lives trying to own more. Others decide what's enough and finally own themselves.